Now we are live on YouTube.
Yeah, right?
We are here with Kim Coleman today. We're going to dive into using Beaver Builder with Paid Memberships Pro and how you can design some different elements using the specific page builder. Everybody has their page builder preference.
Yeah, and Beaver Builder has been around for a very long time. And we do integrate directly with it in Paid Memberships Pro Core. So that's part of why it's on our list. We know the founder personally, so we have a relationship that we feel confident recommending them. We've done a few more of these. We've done an Elementor, Open Office Hours, Divi, and we have some more planned for later this year. So I'm having to learn all of these builders and become really familiar with everything, but not so bad. Sam helped
You're
with this
welcome.
one because you have some Beaver Builder experience. Yeah.
Yes, I do have Beaver Builder experience, just a little bit, and I did help build this page with you.
And if you're in chat, we don't have a lot of pre-asked questions, so I'll try to keep this stream going as long as we can. We try to go for an hour, but if we don't have participation or questions related to Beaver Builder specifically, try to keep your questions related to this builder. Maybe we'll wrap up early and I can enjoy myself. We're at our house in Maryland right now. I'll show you well, I have my background blurred, so you can kind of see the water, the blurry water. Behind me is a bunch of fishing poles. A true fishing river house, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And Sam is planning the Q3. Maybe you'll tease some of our topics at the end of this.
I can actually. If you go to our Paid Memberships Pro /live, the schedule for Q3 is already on the page that you can see what topics are coming up.
Perfect. Cool.
I will add your screen and you can dive into your demo.
So unlike some of our other builder demos, I did not use the Beaver Builder theme. I kept our Must Love Dogs demo site, which uses MemberLite, which is the theme that's created by us, the same as the authors of Paid Memberships Pro, created the MemberLite theme, and it's for free in the WordPress.org repository. Just search the themes directory for MemberLite, Lite, not light like a light bulb. But I think it was interesting to do it this way because we showed how you could use any theme with your page builder of choice, even have an existing site like this Must Love Dogs demo site and say to yourself, I need a little bit more hand-holding and support through building my page experience. I'm not, the WordPress block editor is just not jiving for me, and I need something else, something that is a little bit more of a support for building my content. So this is the homepage. I'll get into the Beaver Builder side of things, but it's very much like the existing Must Love Dogs demo site. We have this masthead area with the call to action, plans comparison. With this is a Beaver Builder module, I think that it's called, for pricing. So we'll talk about what's unique about building custom pricing pages with your page builder. And Sam can also drop a link. We have a couple articles that we're actually trying to refresh currently related to handcrafting your pricing page rather than having the data pulled in directly from Paid Memberships Pro using our blocks or shortcode method to generate that levels page. And then we have like a grid layout for the blog posts, which also is leveraging Beaver Builder. So that's that. Pricing page just replicates in this demo site that I'm going to go through the same levels layout that you saw. And then if you go to a checkout page, I just kind of put it in a box and added a shadow, which shows not every aspect of Paid Memberships Pro's blocks and shortcodes are editable. But if you can wrap them in things outside of it, you can create some layouts that you'll get you closer to what you want. We do have a lot of design improvements coming to Paid Memberships Pro this year. That'll be in version 3.1. We're putting the finishing touches on that. So if you are thinking you want your pages to be a little bit more visually interesting, it's going to come in the box with Paid Memberships Pro for free very soon. So when you upgrade to 3.1, you're going to go, wow, like awesome. I love this, I hope. So let me get into
a project that you've been really excited about.
I have been.
You also don't want it to end either because you had been having fun with building it.
It has been fun. I am getting to that point where I'm like, it's too far now. We need to launch it and get feedback. So I hope that everyone can give us feedback on it when it's there. But this is the Beaver Builder editing experience. It's a really clean editor. There's some like global settings you can adjust within this section. And then much like our Elementor or Divi, You can see the hierarchy of your content in your page and, toggle things. This is also the block editor has a view like this to see what elements do we have and how are they nested. And then you can toggle and click into specific ones to do things with by right clicking. Does that show, Sam? I don't know that this appears
Yes.
okay. And you can click open settings and then adjust that right there. You can also similarly click within the editor itself to edit things and change settings for things just like that. Same view. And then if you want to insert additional modules or pre-built templates, you can do that by clicking this plus, and this done, you can save and publish your changes. So that masthead is a basic thing. It's just using the heading, paragraph, and the Beaver Builder button elements. What are they called? Modules. I don't want to use the word elements because we'll confuse ourselves with Elementor. But let me talk a little bit through how this pricing table is done. I also made this what's called a global module, so that if I edit it in one place here on my homepage, it will also reflect on other places I've put this same module. It makes it really easy to keep things in sync. Since we handcrafted this pricing table, if we change our prices next year to $35 per month, we only have to edit that global module in one place and it will update throughout our site rather than having to hunt down every place that we put this module into our pages. That's the trade-off with the custom
WordPress
crafting.
patterns.
Yes, very similar to patterns if you're familiar with them, having a synced pattern, or now we've started using these unsynced patterns, which are just kind of a framework, and you know that you're going to be modifying it each time. But within this pricing table, because it's handcrafted, you have to add pricing boxes for each level you want to display. So if next year we add a new membership level, we'll click add pricing box to add that additional item. I do want to delete that item. And then each item within, you see that my background blurred, that's just Beaver Builder updating the page as I'm adjusting the settings. So each pricing box has its own set of settings, the title for it, the price item, and then this feature list, which shows us these line items here. The button itself, you can change the text of the button, the color, the rounding of the corners, pretty much everything. And then that button URL, I'll show you where to grab this. This is one thing that's very important when you're custom building a pricing page like this Beaver Builder one, that you have the links that go right to the checkout page. So for most sites, oh, I'm going to the wrong site. I'm going to our site. That's not what I want. I want to go into the admin of this one. I forgot to take my...
Update the live site.
I do have my book over. Yeah, I'm not going to pull a Jason and update my live site. Hi, Jason, if you're watching. But to grab those checkout link URLs, the full link to your checkout page in your membership site admin, go to membership settings and be on this levels page. And you see this here where it says allow signups. We've often talked about how we could make this better, but that word yes will be the link that you want. If you click yes, it's going to open in a new tab the full URL to check out for each membership level. Beginner is our level 1. If we adjusted that, can you see the browser URLs?
Yes.
Okay, cool. To level ID 2, that would be our enhanced. So these are the URLs we'll place within our Beaver Builder pricing box button URL field. All right. So if you save the changes you make in one, you can edit a different pricing box. Here I'm in that middle one where it's the enhanced and featured. And if you see here on the general, that ribbon is that banner that I put at the top, and you can say, you can put anything there. Featured membership. You could put it on sale and say, prices that changing on such and such a date. You can do a lot of stuff with that. So we can come back to this if people have questions about the pricing table. I'm sure that Beaver Builder has lots of documentation about using this module, but I just wanted to go over how would you create it if you're starting from scratch with Paid Memberships Pro, and where would you get those checkout URLs? That's super important. And then there's this blog layout. So that's kind of the homepage. We didn't even use yet this PM Pro, the integration PM Pro has, but we can do that. And Sam set something up for us already that has that. I'll show you how on the checkout page that was done. If we go into Beaver Builder, I'm just adding that subtle shadow box to really focus people in on that checkout page. This is a full width layout, and I've come to sites where I see their checkout page is like spanning the whole, 1400 pixel wide width of their website. And that can make filling out forms really challenging for people who have to scan left to right. Maybe you have descriptive text that becomes very long. So if I have no idea what to put in the sidebar, I would just do this centered narrow width and maybe just at max make it, I don't know what this one is, I can inspect it and see. I would say between 800 pixels or so is like a good width. Yeah, this one's 725 pixels. That's kind of what even people with huge monitors wouldn't want something that was that wide having to scan across. So if you're a paid member, we do site success checks, and that's one of the things in our check, looking at your checkout page and making sure that it's not such a wide thing that's hard to scan and hard to complete the form. So here in Beaver Builder, I'm gonna, if you click on the element that you're in, module you're in, row, item, I don't know what you call it. You can see the hierarchy again here. So the column itself is where I placed some of that styling. And you can see in the column, I have it set with a white background color, and then I've set a subtle border radius and a box shadow. I wish Beaver Builder had some pre-built shadows for us, because I think this is fairly technical for people who have not coded shadows before. The X, Y, what does that mean? Those are the coordinates of offsetting the shadow. So X is how much is it shifted horizontally. A positive X value would shift it horizontally right. A negative X value would shift it horizontally left. But if you didn't code CSS as long as I've been coding CSS, that might just be kind of what do they mean? X, Y, blur. Maybe
or
AI
if
can
you
help
forgot
there.
your high school algebra.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that is algebra, right? So like
It
Y,
is,
what's
yeah.
interesting with Y, a positive Y value is a downshift with but like if you
Oh, so
really
that would
had
be opposite of
the
algebra.
axes, it is the opposite, just the y-axis, I guess. X is correct, but the y-axis is shifting down. Actually, a negative y would shift it up. Why did they do that, those developers, those people who built CSS for us?
They don't know numbers.
They don't know numbers. So I think that's nice. And then literally inside of here, you see that this is rendering. This is the HTML module, and I'm just put the shortcode PM Pro checkout in here. We can't use blocks within the Beaver Builder editing experience. We're always using the shortcode equivalent. So Sam might have a link to drop that in of the shortcodes for our front end pages. When you generate Paid Memberships Pro as part of initial setup, when they get generated, those shortcodes are automatically placed in. So if you later decide to use Beaver Builder, when you activate the Beaver Builder editing experience for one of our front end pages, it's going to know that that shortcode exists, and it's going to place it within, I think it's a text module when you enter the Beaver Builder editor. So you won't really have to know these. You just don't want to remove them. And if you happen to remove them, you'll go back to those documentations and find the appropriate shortcode for each front end page match. So that's that page. And then any questions coming in, or should I keep going on what we've kind of customized here, Sam?
There are no questions. Our audience is very quiet today.
Okay. Maybe they're confused who I am. They're like, where are we? Why is Kim not in her cool studio, right? And then this is the account page. This is a great opportunity to leverage your builder and design something that really considers what value of your membership, what information you need to communicate. I didn't do too much here yet with that because this is a fictitious site. I didn't really spend brain cycles thinking about what we would want to develop here and show, but we do have an article about building these dashboards. If it's a community site, you can pull in some recent conversations from your forums. If it's a download site, you can show a list of the files that people can download. If it's directory, you could have a link to go manage your profile, your directory profile information. So thinking about what else could be included on the account page other than just this kind of transactional information that's PM Pro's including by default. That's a good place to leverage layouts that are part of Beaver Builder and different modules you can drop in. So let's look at this Beaver Builder editor here. Something I always like to do is personalize this membership account page by adding some things like this member avatar field. That's a short code that lets you pull in specific profile information, custom fields, custom data about that logged in member. So in this case, I'm pulling in the avatar and it just renders it like a nice graphic. And then here in this heading module, I'm using the same shortcode to pull in the member's display name. So it personalizes this dashboard a little bit more than just saying membership account at the top of the page. So these are both, if you look at the structure here, it's a row, and then inside of it is a group with a single column and these two centered modules. One is that text editor, one's that heading. And then below that, there's another row. You see this pattern with page builders, everything becomes kind of a strip. of information. And within that row, then you begin building the different pieces. So this one also has some columns. It has 3 columns because I'm trying to create that narrow width in the center. So I just have some blank columns to space that out. You could do this with margins also. I don't know why I always default to building these like empty column layouts, I think, but you can adjust this with margins too. And then again, this is that HTML module. If I click in to see the settings, it's literally just pasted in PM Pro account shortcode right there. So there's nothing else really customized in this one besides using that same kind of shadow box. I think if you're going to start adding a design motif like how we put on that checkout page, what that box looks like, try to keep reusing it. I could show you Beaver Builder actually has a really nice way to copy the styling and paste and apply the styling to other content. So you could have 2 editors open, and on both of them, you can say, oh, I just lost a column. You could say copy column settings. Is that overlapped a little bit? Copy column settings. And in the background, it just kind of pastes it into your, this is not in a column. Let's say, oh, here, column. So let me just paste them here. Column, paste column settings, and you'll see how it puts that same styling on something else. So it's just copying the same border radius, the same drop shadow, the same background color. I don't really like the look of that, so I'm going to undo it. Sam, do you know I haven't found a way in Beaver Builder to undo other than
Command
just
Z.
Command Z. Is there a within the Beaver Builder editor, is there a redo undo that you've seen?
I have not seen that. No, I've just been using, when I was building the homepage originally for you, I was just using Command Z when I would mess up.
That's what I'm using. I'm surprised.
But no, I haven't seen like a
undo. If anyone's watching and has, button. What's this do? Oh. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I was surprised by that. Not like right clicking anywhere.
Command Z is my friend though.
Command Z is our friend. We love Command Z. Or Control Z if you're on a PC. We're both on a Mac, but yeah. That's kind of it. Let's go into that part of it was kind of like building layouts, customizing the appearance of front-end pages in Paid Memberships Pro. Let's look at that content, the way we integrate to hide and show blocks, modules in Beaver Builder. Is it the Good Boys and Girls?
Good Boys and Girls, Stop It Friend.
We're going to memorize all these weird posts, right? So I'm currently logged in. I have access, but I'm going to just show you how with this view option that was brought in Paid Memberships Pro 3.0. If you don't see this item on your toolbar, you might not be running the latest version of Paid Memberships Pro. But if we hover here, you can change, without having to log in and out of your site, you can change to view content as if you were a non-member and didn't have access. So what Sam did was use that PM Pro integration to hide content from the non-members rather than protecting this post just for the Paid Memberships Pro page and post level default settings. When you're using the builder, you might be inserting visual elements throughout your pages or even within your theme itself. You can build entire theme frameworks with Beaver Builder's themer in their premium plan. And this is how you would maybe add like a big banner that's like a call out for membership, but have it not displayed to logged in members because they don't need to be told again to pay or to sign up. I'm going to put it back to my access and we'll go into Beaver Builder and show that setting. I feel like it looks so much like the front end. I keep forgetting sometimes that I'm in the editing experience. It's so much the same. So if we click and look at this hierarchy again, Sam put text here in a group. So this text editor setting, if I click on the PM Pro tab of the little window that pops up to control everything, I can enable module visibility. So this module, this text editor module, I said, yes, protect this. And then what levels? This is a multi-select. So you'll hold Command on a Mac, I guess, Control on a PC, and choose the different levels that should have be able to see this content, and it's just hidden from everyone else. We have this for other page builders. We have it for core WordPress, and then some sites also just use the membership shortcode. If you're using a builder that you want to do this with, but we don't directly integrate with already, that's also an option. So that's that visibility. You can use that anywhere. You can use that in the Beaver themer to control menus and show different menus. We did that in our Divi example. You can do it within the content itself. You could do it in the footer and have different column data showing in your site footers based on membership level. Like if you wanted to hide this and swap it to like navigation for your members to get to their content, you could do that too. So that's it really right now. We didn't go too far with this. We were hoping people would have specific questions or things they were having trouble targeting and styling for sure. Carrie, I see.
Carrie said that this is complicated and that they're just starting out.
I would say away from a page builder.
Yeah, I would definitely say page builders are more advanced. They are more complicated. It does take a lot more time and patience to figure everything out. If you're just starting out and you don't necessarily want to go through all this design process, I would stick with the basic Gutenberg block editor and type your content away, restrict it with the PM Pro settings that are already there, and just keep it simple.
Yeah. And 3.1 is not too far away. So you'll get visually improved layouts of all of our front end pages. And if you're happy with the way your theme looks, I'm confident that PM Pro is going to look beautiful in it too, because it's going to try to just really create a beautiful styling. Yep, it will, Carrie. We'll have like maybe we'll do a sneak peek stream sometime of some stuff in 3.1. Yeah. But if you have specific things you're finding that aren't user friendly, do reach out on our contact form and we can see if it's either going to be included or if it's somewhere that we can add documentation about customizing more easily for you. But absolutely. I mean, just out of the box, people using Paintbrush Pro, you might look at the site and think that's not such a beautiful site, but looks can be pretty low tier if you have great content and what you're delivering is really useful to people. I'll say it again, ugly websites can be successful websites. It's less about standing back and thinking, oh, that's beautiful, I'd hang a picture of that website on my wall, and more like, is there a lot of value? Is it priced right? Am I delivering content on the schedule I promised? Are people coming back because my content is so interesting or the community is so rich? People can overlook a lot of the appearance, what we might think, because we stare at our websites all day, every day. We're the worst people to kind of judge, do they look nice or not, because we're using them so much, the things that really bother us might not be what our users are reporting.
Before really building out my demo site with Must Love Dogs, just starting out with very basic Paintbrush Pro, member light theme, I think I maybe set up one free level. It's not a great, beautiful site, or it wasn't. Now I use Must Love Dogs, but starting out, it was functional. It did its job. Yeah. I was able to learn from it, and then I was able to add on to it.
Yeah.
You'll get there, Carrie.
Yes. I told you, Sam, we're not going to have too many people asking questions. We might be able to go swimming.
I know. It is nice and hot in Florida. I hope that if our South Florida friends are watching us, I hope they can watch us. There's really bad flooding in South Florida right now.
Oh, no. Yeah, you showed me how there was a disturbance, or what was it called, right?
Yeah, it's tropical disturbance. Not a storm. Not a depression, but a disturbance.
This is the docs on our Beaver Builder built-in integration. You don't have to activate anything differently. If you have the Beaver Builder plugin active and you have paid memberships, you'll get that setting to enable visibility there. I guess I'll show the membership shortcode option, because then you can swap in the no access message. That's the one downside of what using that module visibility gives you, is you can't show the no access message on top of it. So we'll do that for this post. All right. Let's see. Not the whole thing. We'll just pick a little bit of it. Okay. I'm going to add another text editor. Sure, we'll put it there. All right, so here's some text. You can use our membership short code. I think that's what it is, right? Show no access. I'll look up the docs. Let's take a guess. Kim, is that right?
I guess we're gonna find out.
All right, so that's that paragraph. And I said, if I don't have access, show the no access message. So let me say view without access. Oh, this post is just protected though. Let me unprotect it. It's probably protected by category. What did I do? How did I end up in the revisions? Silly.
It's not protected. What did you do?
I think it's based on category.
Oh, it might be.
I don't see the categories. Why don't I see categories? No, they're off. Interesting. Okay, categories. Who's contacting me? All right, I've unprotected the post. So now the post is technically public, except that portion that we protected is being restricted. So we could use that short code more in other places, but it behaves a little bit differently than the module, PM Pro module visibility does, because you can show, you can swap the content for the no access message. So it's an option also with your page builder to do that. It's very easy to just select those levels within the modules PM Pro tab, but if you wanted to also show that no access message, you would just do that this way. Let me see what happens when I get into the filter. Here, let's show it one more time. This is that membership shortcode. Sam, if you have a link, or maybe you already did, to the documentation for using this shortcode, we could show that there too for people. Yeah, that's it.
Restrict content with a shortcode.
Restrict content with a shortcode.
I guess one good thing to note on watching you build this was when I was building it, I was under the impression that I had to have the HTML item
Okay.
to put a shortcode in there.
Yeah.
But watching you've put it in a heading, you've put it in the text box, you've put it in the HTML. So you don't necessarily have to put a shortcode in the HTML module. That's what they're called, module.
Yeah. So what Sam's talking about here, that this HTML module, you can put shortcodes and they will render in here, but you can also place shortcodes within probably almost any other block. But at least what we've seen in this demo is text editor, heading, and I think, do we have a button? Maybe we didn't. But text editor and heading for sure are rendering our shortcodes properly, which is good.
I just thought that was a good thing to note, because I did not know that. I was building under HTML.
Which is hard, because then I didn't find a way with Beaver Builder to like make things in line. So if you did that, that item would be its own row of content. Like it couldn't be in line with other
it wouldn't
stuff.
be. Yeah, it wouldn't be like its own thing. Yeah.
Text is best. Kim said, huh? Even for Beaver Builder, that's good to know. They were all rendering for me for the ones you added too. Yeah.
And even when like when we're on our site and I do, or on my demo site or anything like that I'm playing around with it, I don't put the shortcode in regular text block. I put it in HTML block in Gutenberg too.
Oh, you do? Not in the shortcode block?
Or I either do
Maybe
HTML or the shortcode block. Yeah, I either pick one of those, but never just in the text.
Yeah, most of the time you don't have to, because those front end page shortcodes are really like the entire piece of the content. But when you're using the PM Pro member shortcode to show a field, it's nice because you could do what we did on the account page, which, that word welcome, and then the generated shortcode content based on the user's display name. Yeah.
The more you know.
Cool.
So Graham said to confirm 3.1 has front-end changes. Would they need to review those in staging before pushing it to the live site?
Definitely, especially if you've heavily customized the design of your site. The changes can be minimized. So it's a lot of front-end styling. Not everyone hires a developer to design and write custom CSS for the front end of their page. So we're getting opinionated with the design of the front end of Paid Memberships Pro, but there is a setting to disable that design layer. But just disabling it won't also make sure that your previous styles work, because some CSS selectors have changed. We've kind of streamlined the number of selectors and simplified it. So things can be kind of globally targeted rather than each individual front end page having its own CSS selectors. We're trying to get more of a system with our CSS and what we name as a CSS class. But we are working on a recipe that uses an existing hook in Paid Memberships Pro to duplicate old selector names into the new ones. So we're going to do our best to minimize the impact in the new code review and changes you'll have to do. Yeah. What else is coming in 3.0? A few other cool things. I will talk about that. We're looking a little bit at how our orders page is functioning and trying to get away from the word invoice, which is not a globally accepted word for what these orders actually are. So that's been a long-standing thing to make Paid Memberships Pro more internationally friendly for sites. So yeah. I think pretty soon, Rip. I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, any idea when it would be released?
Ask David.
No promises, but if I had to guess, and I have not talked to David, so you cannot quote me on this. This is not a promise. I would say probably within the next 2 months.
Oh, that's good. Maybe you can tell me when for our birthday. Paid Memberships Pro turns 13. I think it's July 5th or 7th.
July, I think it's 5th.
The 5th. Happy 13th. We're teenagers. Yeah, 5th. Sam, you're on break. You're on leave. You won't be here for our birthday. Too bad.
I'll be celebrating our birthday on leave.
There you go.
Rip, I would also ask your building conversation among users in the Slack community. That would be a really good place for you to ask that question and possibly get recommendations.
We'll answer
on product suggestions.
Yeah. Too. If you're watching and you're interested, we're growing a private Slack community for Paid Memberships Pro, trying to create more conversations, not just about the technical and the things that need, how do I do this with Paid Memberships Pro, but really like business-oriented questions, exactly like Rip asks here, to build conversations among the members in this site. So we have some good content about that on our communities hub. I think these hubs might be a little buried to you all, but if you're, oh, I'm not logged in. Let me log in a different window. If you have a free account on Paid Memberships Pro, from your membership account page, you can see kind of a sidebar with all the different content hubs that exist. I'm very much not logged in. You can't see anything of what I'm doing, can you, Sam? And me and my one password here.
We only see your the community landing page.
Landing page. I'm gonna have the 2-factor, very important. Set up 2-factor for your site.
Right now, every Wednesday in the community Slack, I post a somewhat of a just trying to engage in conversation question, from anything about how do you keep members to what are you, oh man, I don't even know. I write these questions and I don't remember them.
That's okay.
But we're just trying to get the community engaged. Talk about what they do.
Yeah. So this landing page will have some different ways to enable what you're talking about, conversations among members. And so give that a look. You can get to that from your account page in the sidebar. There'll be a link to this hub. Yeah. Go back to my Beaver Builder site. sad. I think of all the builders we've worked with, at least the light version of Beaver Builder on WordPress.org is reporting 100,000 plus installs. So not anywhere near the magnitude of the Divi and Elementor that we demoed. So I get that this is a less attended event by people and asking questions about it, but I found it pretty easy to use. But I have been put through the ringer of page builders, and they all have similar patterns for how things work. So it could be that, but it could also be that this one's just the secret silver bullet, easiest to use one. Unsung hero.
In the WordPress world of the battle of the page builders, if I had to absolutely pick a page builder to work with, I would be picking Beaver Builder. It is one of the most
That's awesome.
the easier ones to pick up and use. I know Carrie said it's complicated. It is. But out of all of the page builders I've worked with and I've seen Kim use and I've tried to demo them for myself and everything, this is the easiest one.
Yeah. I didn't find that the site got any slower either. I would say maybe it's pretty lightweight also. I'm just looking. You can't see it. Some of the builders do have like an admin where you can browse pre-built layouts. This one doesn't, but you can see that module I was talking about, our pricing module, and how it's edit in one place, use it wherever. That's pretty cool. So that's stored in this saved modules area, that pricing layout.
All right, so since everybody is so quiet today, we will wrap up a few minutes early. Our next open office hours is going to be June 27th. We are going to be here with Kim Coleman again. And she's going to be talking about running a sale on your membership site. So we're going to talk about site-wide sales, kind of starting the prep for Black Friday, because now's the time to start doing that before you actually get to that quarter.
Too late. It's good, and it'll help you run a sale now. Like, don't make Black Friday your first sale ever if you can help it, because if you're putting a lot of pressure on Black Friday to do really well for your business, there will be kinks that you didn't even think of if you've never run a sale before. So consider a small sale in advance. We'll talk about that on the event, but that's the teaser. Pro tip I'll give you for anyone watching now. We're going to talk about how to set it up. It might feel early, but that's just so you get that runway to test it.
And then just some other little teasers. We've got a couple guest speakers coming up in August. And well, Kim, you say yes, like you're getting out of it, but it's guest speakers with Kim.
Okay. Hey, it's a little less effort for me.
It is a little less effort. And honestly, the reason why I still have you on them is to bring the membership side into what they're talking about. So
that's good.
It's just a little bit of your expertise mixed in with their topics as well. We've got Chris Badgett with Lifter LMS to show us how to create courses. So I think like late last year we had Jason and Chris on, and they really talked about the new Streamline and how it talked to each other, but they didn't go into how to build a course and how to actually make it work with PM Pro. Yes. So that's what Chris and Kim are going to be doing in August. And then we also have Bet Hannon talking about accessibility. So that will be a really fun conversation. Bet is really excited. She could talk about accessibility for days. So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Yeah. I think it's more and more you're going to see people making an effort to incrementally improve the accessibility of their sites. And it's not as scary as it seems. We've done a lot for Paid Memberships Pro to make it accessible on the front end and in the admin of your site. So we did a whole stream about that, and all that work was done in advance of 3.0. So if you're not even on 3.0 yet, you already have those benefits. So we're constantly looking at it and taking feedback that would make it more accessible for people. So it's more probably going to be other parts of your site, not just the PM Pro stuff, because you can probably be pretty confident that that's already there, unless you have very weird colors in your site. But the design layer that we're adding is going to sledgehammer anything you did to unaccessible your colors.
The really cool thing also about Bet is that she also has built membership sites as well. So,
Oh,
in
great.
addition to just accessibility in general, she knows accessibility with membership
Yeah.
sites. And then we also have your expertise with membership sites as well.
Yeah.
So, it'll be a really cool conversation.
Yeah.
And then we've got one with Jason in July.
Nice. So I do have a little bit of a chill Q3.
Yeah, well, kind of.
If there's
I
other
try.
topics
I
we
try to
haven't
mix it up.
covered, yeah. If there's topics you want to see us cover that we haven't covered, put a comment on this video or reach out on our contact us page, join our Slack community and talk there. We're not running out of ideas. I think we're recycling a few because we realize they're perennial. Talking about sales is a perennial conversation. I think accessibility also will become a perennial event that we need to keep up with because the goalpost is shifting and it always is changing what the requirements are and what the recommendations are and what's available to us as far as tools to use. So if we become a broken record on some of these topics, it's only because there's fresh information to share.
Always. It's ever changing.
Yep. Awesome.
All right. Well, that will be it for today. We will see y'all in, 2 weeks on June 27th.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Right after Kim White on our team who's in chat, and Jason's birthday is the 24th. So right, happy early birthday, and we'll belated
We'll have a
birthday
big
wishes
birthday
to you both.
celebration with Kim White and Jason, and then also PM Pro's birthday is the week after that.
Yes.
So we'll just have a big birthday celebration on the 27th.
I'm ready. More cake. All right. Thanks, y'all. Bye, Rip. Thanks, everybody.